sure everybody's familiar with the concept of a channel update video. Won't give too much background on what that is. Just wanted to give you a little bit of an update about a couple things coming in the future, and also give a designated place for suggestions for topics if you happen to have any. I did want to start by thanking everybody for your time and attention and the nice things a lot of you have said about the content. Obviously, some things do better than others in terms of traffic, but everything I talk about on here is really important to me. I do try very hard to have something interesting and insightful to say, and it's really great to see people paying attention and responding. First topic is my own music. You may have seen that I had a new single come out this past Friday. I'll be continuing to release new songs about every 5 weeks until spring of next year, at which point there'll be a full album available that compiles those songs and some other stuff. My schedule is going to get a bit more tight just in general. I'll be doing things to set up those releases, and I do also work both a full-time job and a second job. The proceeds from the second job pretty much go to music production costs. So in addition to doing this channel and the release, I also have those jobs, and I'm pretty much always tinkering with some kind of new piece of music because, frankly, I get very anxious if I'm not. Now, my music is a hobby in the technical sense because it doesn't earn me any money or really have any kind of a meaningful audience, but it is enormously important to me. You know, it's what I think about at night when I'm not sleeping. It's what I think about on vacation when I'm supposed to be enjoying my vacation. If I happen to have a good or bad feeling on a particular day about a piece of my music, that's pretty much what determines whether I'm going to be in a good or bad mood for most of that day. All that being said, the releases of my own music and some of the associated content that I'm planning to put up, that shouldn't displace any of the critical material I've been doing on the channel. The videos about, other music, primarily classic prog rock. I am going to continue uploading those videos on a schedule of every Wednesday, as I have been doing. I do think I can arrange my time and resources so that remains feasible. Second, if you're on Instagram and you don't follow me, you may find it enjoyable to do so. I'll try to put a link in the description. Third, if you're a regular viewer, you'll know that I'm almost to the end of the Every Genesis Song Ranked video series, which has been a fairly mammoth project, and it's been the default focus of the channel for a few months, right? Although I've set it up so it's every other upload to make space for other things. I do have a few things connected to that ranking that I'll probably do once I get done with the ranking itself. There are a couple other lists of a similar nature that it would be interesting to respond to, and I'll probably address some of the comments as well, because some people have said some fairly interesting and insightful things in the comments that I want to make sure get captured and honored. All that being said, once that particular project is done, I am going to have to spend a bit more time trying to think of topics because I won't have a default topic for every other video. If there's something you'd be interested in having me do or talk about, I'd be curious to hear. Please do let me know in the comments. I can't promise anything in particular as far as things people are interested in because it does have to be something that I'm very familiar with and can find something reasonably insightful to say or something that doesn't feel like the same thing everybody says about it. In general, I've tried to avoid video topics or formats that already exist. If you search YouTube, I think there are maybe 4 or 5 or 6 videos that are all in the format of every King Crimson studio album, ranked worst to best, right? And those are interesting, but I don't really want to do another of those. But it might be that I'm actually overrating the value of originality, and that would be a perfectly honorable thing to do, right? So, I don't know. Is it okay, in fact, to be the 7th person on YouTube to rank all the Pink Floyd studio albums? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. One thing I have been thinking about, I only know the band Marillion up through the album Clutching at Straws, and they have such a deep bench of albums, it's just always seemed kind of intimidating to try to wade in beyond that point. I'd be interested in doing a collaborative video with someone who knows the Hogarth era pretty well and could kind of walk me through it and be a sounding board for some of the thoughts that I had while I was exploring it. So, if you know Marillion well, you're comfortable being on camera, or if you know someone who has a channel who might want to collaborate, let me know in the comments. Also, a couple people have wondered why there's not any Graaf Generator content, because of course there's so much Peter Hamill content. It was really the first big project that I tackled on the channel. Basically, I started with Hamill because there's less Hamill content in the world, right? It seemed more interesting as an inlet than, being the 10th person to come out and say that Pawn Hearts is a masterpiece. But I did recently finally wrangle enough cash to pick up the Charisma Years box set. It should be here in the next few days. And I do think that that'll be a spur to actually finally do some Graaf content of one kind or another. All right, that's all I have for updates. Thank you much, everybody, once again, for your time and attention. Really does mean a lot to me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week.